The Washington Wizards right now are the worst team in basketball, sitting at 3-11, and of course the hottest topic in the NBA right now is Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal is one of the most prolific scorers in the game right now. He led the league in scoring per game last year. He's currently leading the league in scoring right now per game, and he's the only thing Washington has going for them outside of Russell Westbrook as well. But Bradley Beal right now could be the change in power in the entire NBA across the league as a whole, and he could really change up how we have our seeding predictions and who we have coming out to win the NBA Finals. But let's stop wasting time, man. Let's hop right into this video though. So as I just stated, the Washington Wizards are currently the worst team in basketball right now, sitting at 3-11. Bradley Beal is on an absolute tear and has been putting on a show, nothing short of great for us. This man will go out there and drop 40 points and his team will still end up losing by 15, 20 points. There are multiple clips of him emotional on the sidelines because of these things.
See Bradley Beal taking a seat, shaking his head.
I mean, that says it all right there. Just absolutely.
Everybody warned Bradley Beal back in the day to not sign that extension with the Wizards because we saw the trajectory of this franchise, especially with Scott Brooks being out of there as well. They were just going downhill. This Wizards franchise, frankly, has not met expectations even back when they had John Wall and Bradley Beal a couple years ago, and they were a legitimate playoff team even back with Paul Pierce. The Wizards have done nothing but be short of expectations, to put it plain and simple. And even trading for Russell Westbrook after acquiring him in that John Wall trade, this was not going to work out. We knew the pairing of Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal was not going to be legit, but Bradley Beal deserves better than this, and he should demand a trade as soon as possible. And I have a couple teams and a couple destinations I think that would fit him very well. The first team I think that should absolutely go all in for Bradley Beal is the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, do I actually wholeheartedly believe that Bradley Beal will get traded to the Milwaukee Bucks? No, I do not. I feel like the Milwaukee Bucks feel like a stable organization who are not high risk, but they understand that they are going to be a competitive playoff team in the Eastern Conference. I just don't see their front office making that significant move to grab a haul and to grab a player like that. Now, you can use Drew Holiday as an example when they got rid of George Hill, Bledsoe, and other assets as well to acquire Drew Holiday, and I think Drew Holiday is fantastic. I think he's a great player. We know what the kind of guy Drew Holiday is, a great 3-and-D player. But Bradley Beal is a prolific isolation, off-ball, three-point shooting offensive threat on every part of the floor. Defensively, he's not a Drew Holiday, but Bradley Beal automatically makes the Milwaukee Bucks contenders. And Chris Middleton honestly just cannot be your second best player on a championship level team. Even if you want to argue Drew Holiday, everybody knows it is Chris Middleton, a 50, 40, 90 guy, a lights out three-point shooter. But Bradley Beal would be your second option. You need to make Chris Middleton your third option. That leaves even more space for Giannis to operate and play more like a big come playoff time. And we all know playoff basketball is about isolation, half court, get in your offensive and defensive sets kind of game. That's where Bradley Beal is going to flourish with a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that actually leads me on to my second team, in which I think actually will trade for him if I had to project, and I think is the best fit otherwise outside of Milwaukee, will be the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks clearly just got exposed by the Utah Jazz, who are currently on a 10-game win streak. I actually just posted a video about why you should not sleep on the Utah Jazz. I'm actually going to link to it up there above for you guys to watch. But the Dallas Mavericks got exposed by the Utah Jazz because Kristaps Porzingis played all right of a game. Rudy Gobert had 29-20 on him. Luka Doncic playing fantastic. We know what a prolific player that he is, an MVP caliber young stud in this league. But the Dallas Mavericks do not have that other guy to pair along in the backcourt with a Luka Doncic. Look, Tim Hardaway Jr. is fantastic, but that is one of the trade scenarios in which you can go and grab a guy, I think, like Bradley Beal, which would tremendously take that pressure off a guy like Luka Doncic. And I think that pairing actually is even better than a Giannis pairing in Milwaukee because of Luka's ability to pass and space the floor at a more consistent and high efficient level than a guy like Giannis, who's more of a point forward and more of a center come playoff time in these half court sets. And I think Kristaps Porzingis, Luka Doncic, and Bradley Beal are automatically a top 4 team in the Western Conference with the Clippers, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Dallas Mavericks. I think that they are legit, and that would be a dynasty for years and years to come, all in the midst of their prime if Kristaps Porzingis can be healthy. If I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I go and make that move. I am not even going to hesitate wasting any years of Luka Doncic's time in Dallas. And the last and final team I want to discuss that I think would be a good suitor for Bradley Beal has got to be the Denver Nuggets. Even as a Utah Jazz fan, I think the Denver Nuggets are still live. Look, I think that they're a little bit overrated this year because they've been a little bit short of expectations. Nikola Jokic is playing at an MVP level. He's clearly a top 3 MVP candidate through the quarter mark of the season. Jamal Murray has had a little bit of a slump, but you know who's really stepped up is Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is averaging 18 points per game while shooting well over 40% from 3, shooting 85% from the line, and I believe over 50% from the field. He has played very, very efficiently. His PER is up there with some of the best, and he's developing into that floor spacing point forward, point guard that they can run their offense through. But if you're going to want to get a guy like Bradley Beal, you're going to have to give Michael Porter Jr., Gary Harris, probably Bol, maybe Plumlee, and a pick or two to get a guy like Bradley Beal. I think Jamal Murray in that backcourt with what we saw him do last year in the bubble versus the Utah Jazz, and you pair that with Bradley Beal, the offensive backcourt that Jamal Murray and Bradley Beal would be absolutely prolific. And then, of course, with the MVP candidate and Nikola Jokic, who's still going to dominate no matter what. He has passing abilities. Easily the best big man when it comes to passing in the NBA. I think Bradley Beal would fit the best with the Dallas Mavericks. I think that the Dallas Mavericks are the team where he actually ends up landing. But I could see all 3 of these teams, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Dallas Mavericks, and the Denver Nuggets, all being legitimate suitors and legitimate title contenders if they go and get Bradley Beal. The Miami Heat have been thrown out. I don't think Pat Riley makes that move. I don't think that they give up Tyler Hero. We've seen the Lakers. We've seen the Clippers. We've seen a handful of teams have their names thrown around in the Bradley Beal talks. But I think the most realistic really is the Mavericks, the Bucks, and the Denver Nuggets. I want to see Bradley Beal on a contender taking a team over the top, and I really feel as if he is the balance of power right now in the NBA. That's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for always sticking with me. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe down below. It only takes a second and it helps me and the channel out a lot. Let me know where you guys think Bradley Beal is going to go and what you think that situation is going to be like in Washington now that Russell Westbrook's probably going to be stuck there for at least the immediate future as well. But hey, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'm out, boys. Peace!